Hi guys, this is The-Epiphany and this is my first commentary video on Dofus. In this video I'd like to show you a Kolossium fight which my team did, and I'll tell you about my strategy and like how I went about this fight. So I just got the fight and we just accepted, and we're gonna wait for the fight to begin. 6 out of 6 and we're in. Alright, so we got a fight against a Zelor, Masquerader, and Rogue. This fight, to be honest, when I first did it, I actually didn't know what moves to make half the time, because you need to consider possibilities which Zelors and Rogues can do, and you have to move in a way so that you can't, so that you stuff them up and they can't do any combos that will get you killed. You'll see what I mean later on. So I put on my air resist trophy and my water resist trophy, because I know for sure the Rogue is water and the Zelor is agility. Alright, so I also switched initiative trophy into my Enitroph, and he's going first. So what's going to happen now is that I buff up my IOP and prepare for a turn 2 attack. So because this is a pretty large map, I do try and move as close as possible to them, so that next turn I can bribe the Zelor and then Villarin will pretty much do an attack. The Zelor buffs up his Synchro, as most Zelors do. Every time there's a telefrag, the Synchro will gain some damage. The strategy I use for most fights is preparing Sword of Fate on turn 1 and then full damage on turn 3. But sometimes I like to do a full buff on turn 1 and then turn 2 try and attack. The reason I'm choosing this strategy today is because they have a Zelor, so if I wait until turn 3 to attack, the Zelor will swap me to the other side of the map, probably Unbewitch or AP Rape with his Zelor Dial, etc. So what I do now with my Osa is buff up Villarin with AP. Then I try and bring Villarin as close as possible to the enemy side of the map. I do this by using a Tofu to push her up to the other side of the map. Also use weapon skill in case I need to use my heal bow in future. I calculated the exact MP that I needed, so I summoned the Tofu there to make sure I can get Villarin as close as possible to the other side of the map. Now the Masquerader is going to shield the bombs and his team and the Synchro. Now, obviously, because the enemies have pretty much 4,500 health and 1,200 shields, it is impossible to do 5,700 damage on a second turn, especially with no Sword of Fate that has been buffed. So I already know that I cannot one-turn someone this turn. I also plan to bribe the Zelor so that Villarin could go in and attack. However, they have blocked me with a bomb and the Masquerader has gone to that side, so I cannot bribe the Zelor. So I just decided to bribe the Rogue in case he tries to kill me with bombs later on, and Villarin will probably have to go for the Masquerader at this rate. Now the Zelor, he's going to go in and try and unbewitch Villarin because Villarin is fully buffed. Yes, so he does that right there. He frostbites so that Villarin moves back down, because that's where Villarin was before the Tofu did a push to the previous position. He makes everyone into telefrag state and then he unbewitches Villarin, because loss of motivation requires telefrag state to have a -1. So now he's flown back to the other side of the map and we have to do some damage. I lost power and I lost fortune. All I have left is greed, which is only 150 power. So I do an erosion on the Masquerader, then a sword, got a crit lucky, and then I just hit him with 3 concentrations because that is pretty much the most damage I can do. I got rid of all the shields and he has 3,900 HP left, as well as some erosion. Rogue's turn has been skipped, so now I'm gonna transform into Dragon State and just attack them. Give AP to Villarin again because she got -1 effect duration before. Buff up the dragon. Dragon will attack. The reason I ran away and not stay behind Villarin is because it is a chance Masquerader who will rely solely on pushback damage and Bolish. And therefore, Villarin will probably lose like 2,000 HP. His max HP now is 5,330. Yeah, Bolish right there. My Innitroff has more resistance than Villarin, so luckily I was able to... luckily he went for my Innitroff. He also made me unhealable, so I have to try and survive this turn without dying. Otherwise, there's no way I can heal myself. I try and MP rape as many people as I can so that they can't get near me. And then I run away. Lucky could have -3 MP on the Masquerader there. This turn here was quite scary, to be honest, because he blew up his synchro and I lost like 1,200 HP. Hit me with shriveling and then blew up his synchro. Lost quite a lot of HP there, and I'm still unhealable. So I need to do something to prevent the Masquerader, Rogue, from killing my Innitroff. Because the Rogue is MP raped, he cannot reach my Innitroff unless he set up the bomb glyph. Therefore I try and kill the bomb so he doesn't have 2 bombs to make a bomb glyph. And I give vitality to my Innitroff to make sure he doesn't die. I run back and lock the Zealot for shields because of the Emerald Dofus. Rogue cannot reach my Innitroff, so he's most likely gonna just hit Villarin. He's thinking of what to do, because he doesn't really know what to do. He decides to lock my Osa instead, so I cannot heal my Innitroff. But he forgot that my Innitroff was unhealable anyway. Besides, he only has 39 lock. I have 100 dodge, so I can dodge him easily. I decided to spam summons and control the Tofu to push my Inu away from the Masquerader. I just summoned 2 Gobbles to keep the Zealor busy, keep him in gravity state so he can't really do anything. But the Gobble decides to go for the Dial, which was a pretty annoying thing that happened. Use my dragon to damage them all. Masquerader has 3 MP, so there's no way that he can reach my Inutroph. He might have to use Stampede, but if he does that, he's wasting AP and he won't be able to do damage. And besides, I'm no longer unhealable, so I'm going to try and use my Osa to heal my Inutroph. What he did there was Trance. It's a risky spell because you lose more HP than what the shields you actually gain. So now I'm going to try and kill the Masquerader with my Io this turn. However, you'll come to see that it is quite difficult to with the Zealor and Masquerader, with the Rogue, like preventing that from happening. The reason I went there with my Inutroph is so that my Osa can have a straight line of sight when healing. He puts me in Telefrag and he attempts to rape my AP, but I'm using an AP loss resistance trophy. So he's struggling to rape me. I believe he is a full damage Zealor. He doesn't have any AP rape anyway. Temporal dusts me away so that I'm further away from the Masquerader and I can't kill him. I push the Rogue there because otherwise I'm locked. Precipitation, then I just sort of IO twice the Masquerader. Masquerader has 640 HP left. And I need to figure a way out to kill him. However, the Rogue blocks me in all ways possible. In this turn, I really had no idea what to do because there was no way for me to reach the Masquerader or anything like that. So I hesitated and then I ran out of time. I was supposed to summon a Doppel as well, but I didn't have enough time for that. I decided to hit the Zealor and bomb, the bigger bomb, because it's been alive for longer, therefore it does more damage. Now the Masquerader is going to shield the bombs and the Rogue. This makes it even more difficult to kill him because he has like 1,400 shields now, and I am on my IOP is on the turn with minus AP from precipitation. I try and MP rape the Zealor so he can't reach my IOP to try and screw me over or anything like that. He's going to try and kill my Inutroph now. Very close to dying. I'll just try and hit him a bit more, but can't manage to kill. is almost dead. I couldn't move out of the glyph either. I was locked, therefore I lost some more HP from that. My Inutroph is dead. He tries to lock me, but I'm able to swap one of my summons and then run. I'm not going to revive my Inutroph this turn yet. I'm going to wait for... the reason I revived him, I changed my plan, was because the cooldown for bribery would be available on turn 7. So I wanted to ensure that I could use it as soon as it was ready, because it has 5 turns cooldown, and because of the 5 turns cooldown, I used it on turn 2, therefore turn 7 it would be ready. But it also has an initial cooldown of 1 turn, so if I revived my Inutroph next turn, he'd have to wait an extra turn before using it. Masquerader is finally dead. And also, because I was able to kill the Masquerader, my Inutroph goes next. So that allows me to not be, like... It allows me to, like, do some stuff rather than having to go after an enemy, whereas the enemy could have done some damage to me if I didn't kill the enemy before my Inutroph. So what I did here was just kill the bombs, because they are quite they do a lot of damage, especially because my Iope and Osa have minus 30% resistance now. Summon a living bag to take some damage if we get hit. Then I just hit the rogue, because I decided to kill the rogue next, as it is more... I believe it is more dangerous than the Zelor, with the bombs and all. He's trying to kill my Osa, because since my Osa revived my Inu, if my Osa dies, the Inutroph also dies. I am unable to kill the rogue this turn because it's got too much HP and I'm not buffed. I made a mistake here. I should have killed the bomb instead, but I decided to go for the rogue. This leaves my Osa in risk of dying, because there is a bomb alive, and if he puts another bomb, there will be a glyph. What he did here was a smart move. However, he did not calculate the amount of MP he had. He wanted to... he used Last Breath so that the bombs would be stronger. It did 1000 damage on me. Now he wanted to detonate the bombs, but he didn't calculate his MP and he doesn't have line of sight to detonate a bomb. So therefore I just kill him now and then I run away. And luckily my Inutroph has bribery up, so I'm able to bribe the Zelor. I just buffed up the Gobble because it's got more resistance, high chance of living, and can definitely kill the rogue. Now what I'm doing is just hitting the enemies. making sure summons are dead, etc. What I decided to do now with my Unitrof was instead of being a support for once, I'm gonna try and do some damage. Therefore, I buffed myself up with Fortune, and therefore the next turn I'd have an extra 300 power. But before I do that, I decided to do some damage first and then bribe him so he can't move and kill my Osa. If I did not revive my Unitrof the previous turn, I would not have been able to cancel his turn, and therefore he would have killed my Osa with 1300 HP remaining. Negative 30% resistance is very easy to do damage to. I used Pouch on him so that all spell damage on him will be increased by 30%. Oh no, 20% next turn when he's hit, and no longer invulnerable. So now my Unitrof is buffed. I have 1 AP from the Ochre Dofus, not losing any health. And now I just attack him. And we manage to kill him this turn, and we win the fight. So as you can see, my strategy for Kolossium is pretty the same all the way. I just buff my eye open and kill, otherwise I just have to play a bit more smarter. See you at the next fight.